Hey guys, so I made a vlog this morning and I haven't watched it, but I think I kind of rambled on a little bit about nothing. I think I just jumped back and forth. So what I wanted to discuss, I guess, or to ask questions or to get some input was motorcycle camping, as more specifically tents. I have the tents that I use now. Is a individual combat shelter military tent, which I like. It's a one-man tent. It's small, it's easy to put up, it works. It's got a good lining so you can almost black it out when you get inside it for you know, different reasons, so you can turn on the light while you're in there and people outside can't really see that there's a light on in the tent from a distance. But it can be a little warm in the summertime, you know, with the rain fly and everything. But so anyway, I know a lot of people use two-man tents. I've seen a lot of people talk about Big Agnes, Copper Spur, and the MSR. There's two MSR tents that I noticed people liking to use. One of them is is it the Hubba Bubba? And the other one, I don't recall what the other one was called. But they're good tents, don't get me wrong, I know they are, but I just want to know what the consensus was on tents. One thing that appeals to me about a two-person tent is that you can store some of your gear in there. In my little tent, you know, it's a one-man tent. If you put any extra gear in it, it is not going to be pleasant for you. It's going to be crowded. You're going to be bumping into your helmet, say, or your boots. And the military ICS, the individual combat shelter, does have a little vestibule on the back. And on my last camping trip, I used it. That's where I put my aluminum panniers, my aluminum tusk panniers when we were camping. It fit, but not very good. It's very tight under there. But one tent I've been looking at in particular, it's a big tent. Don't get me wrong, it's not a light tent at all. It takes up a lot of space on the bike. It's the Lone Rider Moto tent. And the reason that let me fix the camera. The reason that appeals to me, not necessarily to park the bike under it, because I can get a bike cover or a tarp to cover the motorcycle to keep water and, you know, the morning dew off of it, etc. But to be able to use that as a changing area, because you can stand up in that tent. I've seen a couple of guys review it, and they're both over 6 foot, well over 6 foot, and they're able to stand up in that the garage / porch area of that tent. And that really definitely appeals to me, because, you know, with a lot of the riding gear I have, my summer pants and my Climb Badlands Pro pants, they're not overpants. So if you get to camp and you want to change clothes, well, you got to either lay in your tent or go to a public thing or whatever. Now, if you're doing some primitive camping and there's nobody else around, then who cares, you know? But you don't want to change clothes in front of somebody's children or whatever. You know what I'm saying? That's just, you can get yourself in a situation you didn't intend to get in. So I'm looking at that tent, and but I've convinced myself that I'm not going to spend the money, because it's like a $500–600 tent, until I have camp. Now this is going to be next year. After the 4th or 5th time, I haven't picked a number yet. After the 4th or 5th camping trip, to prove to myself that I am going to actually get out in the woods and set up a tent and camp, that I would buy that tent for myself. Otherwise, I'll continue to use what I have. Another one-man tent I have is the it's another military type of tent. It's called the Katoma bed net system, and it's basically it folds down flat. You twist up these fiberglass rod things in it, and you throw it on the ground, it pops up into a tent. You know what it's specifically designed for is to go on top of a military cot, so you can sleep without getting chewed up by mosquitoes and other biting insects. But there is a rain fly for it, so you can use it as a tent, a standalone tent, but it's really small. It's a lot smaller than that ICS I have. and there's no vestibule on it either. So it's a good tent. It's lightweight, doesn't take up any room, but it definitely is, there's no room inside it for your gear. And then back to that other tent, the Lone Rider Moto tent. That little porch area, you can put a chair in there and a little table and all your boots and your helmet, your panniers, if you have metal panniers, all that good stuff fit right in there. And if it's inclement weather, you can sit in there and fix your dinner or whatever and stay out of the rain. So that's one option for me. There's another company that makes a tent similar to that. I think it's called VUZ or something along those lines. And that's an option. And there's another one. Starts with an R, and I'm going to screw the name. I don't remember, but I'll put a name up here on the screen to whatever that tent's called. But anyway, oh yeah, and the VUZ, I think that's what it's called. But that tent, it's clearly lesser quality because it's only half the price. It's only like 250 bucks, so it's like half the price of the Lone Rider Moto tent. And you know, that's a lot of tent, the Lone Rider Moto tent, for $500 or $600 bucks, because the Big Agnes, Copper Spur, and some of those MSR tents, those little two-man tent, two-person tents, those are between $400 and $600 as well. So, you know, high-end camping gear is not cheap, just like anything else. But you know, you can always buy the, you know, the chances of buying that VUZ tent for $255 and having it fail on you is, you might as well say that you just increased the price of that Lone Rider by $255, because if it fails, you're out that money and you're going to have to buy the Lone Rider anyway. So anyway, yeah, I'd love to hear what you guys camp in and why, and what do you think about that Lone Rider Moto tent or the other two that I mentioned. Alright guys, well, I'm still working on getting a storage shed. That's where I'm headed today, so hopefully I'll get this drama knocked out soon. And that's a whole nother vlog, and I'll save that for later. Y'all be safe, ride safe. Oh, it turned out to be a great day here. It is 80 degrees, everybody. 80 degrees Fahrenheit, if you can believe it. All right, y'all be safe. Talk to you soon. What's up, guys? I just want to take this couple of seconds here to thank you for watching the video all the way to the end. I really do appreciate it. It means a lot to me. Please leave a comment, and I will always comment and get back to you guys. You know I always do. And if you're in the local area, or you're passing through and you got time and I have time, maybe we can meet up for a cup of coffee, smoke a cigar, go for a motorcycle go for a motorcycle ride, or even wet a hook out in the river or pond somewhere. I appreciate it. Y'all be safe, and I'll talk to you again on the next video.